We're here in New Jersey. We're pretty close to New York City. We stopped at a gas station to get something to eat. Every logical piece of information that we've heard has been telling us do not go any farther north, but we're not paying attention. And Brian just saw a really ominous headline on his phone.
That's right. Unfortunately, we do still have some signal. We're trying to lose it right now, but the current headline for the storm that we're about to drive into reads, "Deadly winter storm begins barrage in Northeast." It's the same storm that has been in Arkansas and everything has now moved its way up. It's supposed to get like feet of snow in Vermont.
A winter storm system affecting a large portion of the northeastern U.S. for today, and we are certainly finding some wintry conditions.
Newark International, JFK, LaGuardia, and now Logan also experiencing some weather-related delays. Heavy snow is falling back towards the higher elevations of Vermont and New Hampshire and into upstate New York.
Remember yesterday when I said these are the worst conditions we've ever driven in?
This is now it.
Yep.
We'd driven through freezing rain and sleet all day, but didn't hit snow until southern Vermont. And when I say snow, I mean four-wheel drive lifted Jeep snow. So we were in good shape. After a few hours on a snowy I-91, we stopped at a rest area to check the map and get the latest weather forecast.
I work here at this information center in Vermont, which is a nice little stop for travelers. On a snowy night, we're having a little snowstorm. They're predicting like 8 to 18 inches. It's been snowing all day. We probably got, I don't know, maybe a foot of snow or more. And it's supposed to stop around midnight, so people up, if you come up skiing or playing in the snow, it's going to be awesome. It's a great place to be in the wintertime.
What we didn't tell her was that we decided to do this trip the Vermonter way, in an uninsulated cabin without electricity. To make things more interesting, we drug 3 friends along who don't usually do this sort of thing.
By the time we got off the interstate, it was around 11 p.m. and the temperature had dropped to 22. We knew the cabin was close, but we were running on fumes and had to stop for gas. Which is when we realized that everything on top of the Jeep was covered in an inch-thick layer of ice. Even the towels we used to cushion our snowboard were frozen.
This is a towel. It's hard as a rock.
Unpacking proved to be very interesting.
Before we could think about unpacking, we had to find our shack in the woods. And we decided to have some fun before we started looking.
Ready to go?
By midnight, we'd been on the road for 12 hours, and morale was definitely down. The map to our cabin left a little to be desired. We eventually found the road, but we almost gave up on finding the cabin. Alright, so we made it here to the vicinity of the cabin, but we're not really sure exactly which one it is. So now we're standing in 3 feet deep snow, and we're going up to this random house to see if this is our cabin. We have no idea if it is or not. We might get murdered. This is the deepest snow I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. This looks way too new than our cabin. This is not our cabin. No, it's not our cabin. Yeah. You see how deep that is, Brian? Go stand in
And if you thought
that.
Tyler was excited
Man,
about the
that's
snow,
deepest snow I've ever
wait
seen
till
in
he
my
saw
life.
how crappy our cabin was.
Where's the beaver dam, dude?
Where's the cabin? Alright, get the light out of my eye.
I'm too close.
Run the light.
Hey, there's the cabin.
See it?
Yeah, there's one of them. Hey, we found it. This is unlike anything I've ever done. I'll see that.
You're an adventurer, dude.
I'm cold.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just doing it. It's fun.
When we opened the door, we realized the cabin was everything we'd hoped for, and less, much less.
Because of the cold, our first priority was lighting the stove.
Well, that thing's going out the window.
Second was silencing the smoke detector.
Are we turning this off? What are we doing this?
Yeah, it's smoking up in here pretty big time.
Give it a shot. I don't know how to do it. There. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're doing something
I
off.
don't think that flume's open.
Well, I've adjusted it both ways.
And this
What is this thing up here?
That's temperature.
That's not enough.
No.
Smoke ourselves out of here. We gotta go deep because it's running. So who's coming with me?
After grabbing the rest of the gear, we went to bed early with high hopes. Hopes that our clothes would thaw, that the cabin temperature would rise above freezing, and that breakfast would be edible in the morning.
Something smells like it's burning.
And breakfast wasn't frozen. After some scrambled eggs and hot dogs, we ventured out into Vermont. And as usual, things look a lot different in the daylight.
"3 feet of snow is picturesque, but it sure makes leaving difficult.